Surah Baqarah, Juzz 2, Ayah 142. The fools among the people will ask, what has made them turn around from the direction they used to face? Say, both east and west belong to Allah. He guides whoever He wills to a straight path. In this way we have made you a middlemost community, so that you may act as witnesses against mankind, and the messenger as a witness against you. We only appointed the direction you used to face in order to distinguish those who follow the messenger from those who turn around on their heels. Though in truth it is a very hard thing, except for those Allah has guided. Allah would never let your faith go to waste. Allah is all gentle, most merciful to mankind. We have seen you looking up into heaven, turning this way and that, so we will turn you towards a direction which will please you. Turn your face, therefore, towards the Masjid al-Haram. Wherever you all are, turn your faces towards it. Those given the book know it is the truth from their Lord. Allah is not unaware of what they do. If you were to bring every sign to those given the book, they still would not follow your direction. You do not follow their direction. They do not follow each other's direction. If you followed their whims and desires after the knowledge that has come to you, you would then be one of the wrongdoers. Those we have given the book recognize it as they recognize their own sons, yet a group of them knowingly conceal the truth. The truth is from your Lord, so on no account be among the doubters. Each person faces a particular direction, so race each other to the good. Wherever you are, Allah will bring you all together. Truly, Allah has power over all things. Wherever you come from, turn your face to the Masjid al-Haram. This is certainly the truth from your Lord. Allah is not unaware of what you do. Wherever you come from, turn your face to the Masjid al-Haram. Wherever you are, turn your face towards it, so that people will have no argument against you, except for those among them who do wrong. And then you should not fear them, but rather fear me, and so that I may complete my blessing upon you, so that hopefully you will be guided. For this we sent a messenger to you from among you, to recite our signs to you and purify you, and teach you the book and wisdom, and teach you things you did not know before. Remember me, I will remember you. Give thanks to me, and do not be ungrateful. You who believe, seek help in steadfastness and the prayer. Allah is with the steadfast. Do not say that those who are killed in the way of Allah are dead. On the contrary, they are alive, but you are not aware of it. We will test you with a certain amount of fear and hunger, and loss of wealth and life and fruits, but give good news to the steadfast. Those who, when disaster strikes them, say, we belong to Allah, and to Him we will return. Those are the people who will have blessings and mercy from their Lord. They are the ones who are guided. Safa and Marwa are among the landmarks of Allah, so anyone who goes on Hajj to the house or does Umrah incurs no wrong in going back and forth between them. If anyone spontaneously does good, Allah is all thankful, all knowing. Those who hide the clear signs and guidance we have sent down after we have made it clear to people in the book, Allah curses them, and the curses curse them, except for those who repent and put things right and make things clear. I turn towards them. I am the ever-returning, the most merciful. But as for those who disbelieve and die unbelievers, the curse of Allah is upon them, and that of the angels and all mankind. They will be under it forever. The punishment will not be lightened for them. They will be granted no reprieve. Your God is one God. There is no God but Him, the all-merciful, the most merciful. In the creation of the heavens and night and earth, and the alternation of the night and day, and the ships which sail the sea to people's benefits, and the water which Allah sends down from the sky, by which He brings the earth to life when it was dead, and scatters about in it creatures of every kind, and the varying direction of the winds, and the clouds subservient between heaven and earth. There are signs for people who use their intellect. Some people set up equals to Allah, loving them as they should love Allah. But those who believe have greater love for Allah. If only you could see those who do wrong at the time when they see the punishment, and that truly all strength belongs to Allah, and that Allah is severe in punishment. When those who were followed disown those who followed them, and they see the punishment and the connection between them is cut, those who followed will say, "If only we could have another chance, we would disown them just as they have disowned us." In that way, Allah will show them their actions as a cause of anguish and remorse for them. They will never emerge from the fire. Mankind, eat what is good and lawful on the earth, and do not follow in the footsteps of Shaitan. He truly is an outright enemy to you. He only commands you to do evil and indecent acts, and to say about Allah what you do not know. When they are told, "Follow what Allah has sent down to you," they say, "We are following what we found our fathers doing." What, even though their fathers did not understand a thing and were not guided? The likeness of those who disbelieve is that of someone who yells out to something which cannot hear. It is nothing but a cry and a call. Deaf, dumb, blind, they do not use their intellect. You who believe, eat of the good things we have provided for you, and give thanks to Allah if you worship Him alone. He has only forbidden you carrion, blood, and pork, and what has been consecrated to other than Allah. But anyone who is forced to eat it without desiring it, or going to excess in it, commits no crime. Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. Those who conceal what Allah has sent down of the book and sell it cheap, take nothing into their bellies but the fire. On the day of rising, Allah will not speak to them or purify them. They will have a painful punishment. Those are the ones who have sold guidance for misguidance and forgiveness for punishment. How steadfastly they will endure the fire. That is because Allah has sent down the book with truth, and those who differ from the book are entrenched in hostility. Goodness does not lie in turning your faces towards the east or the west. Rather, those with true devoutness are those who believe in Allah and the last day, the angels, the book, and the prophets, and who, despite their love for it, give away their wealth to their relatives and to orphans and the very poor, and to travellers and beggars, and to set slaves free, and who establish the prayer and pay zakat, those who honour their contracts when they make them, and are steadfast in poverty and illness and in battle. Those are the people who are true. They are the people who are God-fearing. You who believe, retaliation is prescribed for you in the case of people killed, free man for free man, slave for slave, female for female. But if someone is absolved by his brother, blood money should be claimed with correctness and paid with goodwill. That is an easement and a mercy from your Lord. Anyone who goes beyond the limits after this will receive a painful punishment. There is life for you in retaliation, people of intelligence, so that hopefully you will be God-fearing. It is prescribed for you when death approaches one of you, and if he has some goods to leave, to make a will in favour of his parents and relatives, correctly and fairly, a duty for all who are God-fearing. Then if anyone alters it after hearing it, the crime is on the part of those who alter it. Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. But if anyone fears bias or wrongdoing on the part of the person making the will, and puts things right between the people involved, in that case he has not committed any crime. Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. You who believe, fasting is prescribed for you, as it was prescribed for those before you, so that hopefully you will be God-fearing, for a specified number of days. But any of you who are ill or on a journey should fast a number of other days. For those who are able to fast, but with difficulty, their fidya is to feed the poor. And if someone does good of his own accord, it is better for him. But that you should fast is better for you, if you only knew. The month of Ramadan is the one in which the Qur'an was sent down as guidance for mankind, with clear signs containing guidance and discrimination. Any of you who are resident for the month should fast it, but any of you who are ill or on a journey should fast a number of other days. Allah desires ease for you. He does not desire difficulty for you. You should complete the number of days and proclaim Allah's greatness for the guidance He has given you, so that hopefully you will be thankful. If my slaves ask you about me, I am near. I answer the call of the caller when he calls on me. They should therefore respond to me and believe in me, so that hopefully they will be rightly guided. On the night of the fast, it is lawful for you to have sexual relations with your wives. They are clothing for you and you for them. Allah knows that you have been betraying yourselves, and He has turned towards you and excused you. Now you may have sexual intercourse with them and seek what Allah has written for you. Eat and drink until you can clearly discern the white thread from the black thread of the dawn. Then fulfill the fast until the night appears, but do not have intercourse with them while you are in retreat in the mosques. These are Allah's limits, so do not go near them. In this way does Allah make His signs clear to people, so that hopefully they will be God-fearing. Do not devour one another's property by false means, nor offer it to the judges as a bribe, trying through crime to knowingly usurp a portion of other people's properties. They will ask you about the crescent moons. Say, they are set times for mankind and for the Hajj. It is not devoutness for you to enter houses by the back. Rather, the devoutness is possessed by those who are God-fearing. So come to houses by their doors and have taqwa of Allah, so that hopefully you will be successful. Fight in the way of Allah against those who fight you, but do not go beyond the limits. Allah does not love those who go beyond the limits. Kill them wherever you come across them and expel them from where they expelled you. Fitna is worse than killing. Do not fight them in the Masjid al-Haram until they fight you there. But if they do fight you, then kill them. That is how the unbelievers should be repaid. But if they cease, Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. Fight them until there is no more fitna and the deen belongs to Allah alone. If they cease, there should be no enmity towards any but wrongdoers. Sacred month in return for sacred month. Sacred things are subject to retaliation. So if anyone oversteps the limits against you, overstep against him the same as he did to you. But have taqwa of Allah. Know that Allah is with those who are God-fearing. Spend in the way of Allah. Do not cast yourselves into destruction, and do good. Allah loves good doers. Perform the Hajj and Umrah for Allah. If you are forcibly prevented, make whatever sacrifice is feasible. But do not shave your heads until the sacrificial animal has reached the place of sacrifice. If any of you are ill or have a head injury, the expiation is fasting or sadaqah or sacrifice, when you are safe and well again. Anyone who comes out of Ihram between Umrah and Hajj should make whatever sacrifice is feasible. For anyone who cannot, there are 3 days fast on Hajj and 7 on your return. That is 10 in all. That is for anyone whose family does not live the Masjid al-Haram. Have taqwa of Allah and know that Allah is severe in retribution. The Hajj takes place during well-known months. If anyone undertakes the obligation of Hajj in them, there must be no sexual intercourse, no wrongdoing, nor any quarrelling during Hajj. Whatever good you do, Allah knows it. Take provision, but the best provision is taqwa of Allah. So have taqwa of me, people of intelligence. There is nothing wrong in seeking bounty from your Lord when you pour down from Arafat. Remember Allah at the sacred landmark. Remember Him because He has guided you, even though before this you were astray. Then press on from where the people press on and ask Allah's forgiveness. Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. When you have completed your rites, remember Allah, as you used to remember your forefathers, or even more. There are some people who say, Our Lord, give us good in this world. They will have no share in the next world. And there are others who say, Our Lord, give us good in this world and good in the next world, and safeguard us from the punishment of the fire. They will have a good share from what they have earned. Allah is swift at reckoning. Remember Allah on the designated days. Those who hurry on in 2 days have done no wrong, and those who stay another day have done no wrong. Those of them who are God-fearing, so have taqwa of Allah, and know that you will be gathered back to Him. Among the people there is someone whose words about the life of this world excite your admiration, and he calls Allah to witness what is in his heart, while he is in fact the most hostile of adversaries. When he leaves you, he goes about the earth corrupting it, destroying crops and animals. When he is told to have taqwa of Allah, he is seized by pride, which drives him to wrongdoing. Hell will be enough for him. What an evil resting place. And among the people there are some who give up everything, desiring the good pleasure of Allah. Allah is ever gentle with his slaves. You who believe, enter Islam totally. Do not follow in the footsteps of Shaitan. He is an outright enemy to you. If you backslide after the clear signs have come to you, know that Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. What are they waiting for but for Allah to come to them in the shadows of the clouds, together with the angels, in which case the matter will have been settled. All matters return to Allah. Ask the tribe of Israel how many clear signs we gave to them. If anyone alters Allah's blessings after it has come to him, Allah is fierce in retribution. To those who disbelieve, the life of this world is painted in glowing colours, and they laugh at those who believe. But on the day of rising, those who fear Allah will be over them. Allah provides for whomever He wills without any reckoning. Mankind was a single community. Then Allah sent out prophets, bringing good news and giving warning, and with them He sent down the book with truth to decide between people regarding their differences. Only those who were given it differed about it, after the clear signs had come to them, envying one another. Then, by His permission, Allah guided those who believed to the truth of that about which they had differed. Allah guides whomever He wills to a straight path. Or did you suppose that you would enter the garden without facing the same as those who came before you? Poverty and illness afflicted them, and they were shaken to the point that the Messenger and those who believed with him said, "When is Allah's help coming?" Be assured that Allah's help is very near. They will ask you what they should give away. Say, any wealth you give away should go to your parents and relatives, and to orphans, and the very poor and travellers. Whatever good you do, Allah knows it. Fighting is prescribed for you even if it is hateful for you. It may be that you hate something when it is good for you, and it may be that you love something when it is bad for you. Allah knows and you do not know. They will ask you about the sacred month and fighting in it. Say, fighting in it is a serious matter, but barring access to the way of Allah and rejecting Him and barring access to the Masjid al-Haram and expelling its people from it are far more serious in the sight of Allah. Fitna is worse than killing. They will not stop fighting you until they make you revert from your deen, if they are able to. As for any of you who reverts from their deen and dies an unbeliever, his actions will come to nothing in this world and the next world. They are the companions of the fire, remaining in it timelessly forever. Those who believe and make hijrah and do jihad in the way of Allah can expect Allah's mercy. Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. They will ask you about alcoholic drinks and gambling. Say, there is a great wrong in both of them, and also certain benefits for mankind, but the wrong in them is greater than the benefit. They will ask you what they should give away. Say, whatever is surplus to your needs. In this way, Allah makes the signs clear to you, so that hopefully you will reflect on this world and the next world. They will ask you about the property of orphans. Say, managing it in their best interests is best. If you mix your property with theirs, they are your brothers. Allah knows a squanderer from a good manager. If Allah had wanted, He could have been hard on you. Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Do not marry women of the idolaters until they believe. A slave girl who is one of the believers is better for you than a woman of the idolaters, even though she may attract you. And do not give your women in marriage to men of the idolaters until they believe. A slave who is one of the believers is better for you than a man of the idolaters, even though he may attract you. Such people call you to the fire, whereas Allah calls you with His permission to the garden and forgiveness. He makes His signs clear to people so that hopefully they will pay heed. They will ask you about menstruation. Say, it is an impurity, so keep apart from women during menstruation, and do not approach them until they have purified themselves. But once they have purified themselves, then go to them in the way that Allah has enjoined on you. Allah loves those who turn back from wrongdoing, and He loves those who purify themselves. Your women are fertile fields for you, so come to your fertile fields however you like. Send good ahead of yourselves and have taqwa of Allah. Know that you are going to meet Him and give good news to the believers. Do not by your oaths make Allah a pretext to avoid good action and having taqwa and putting things right between people. Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Allah will not take you to task for inadvertent statements in your oaths, but He will take you to task for the intention your hearts have made. Allah is ever forgiving, all forbearing. Those who swear to abstain from sexual relations with their wives can wait for a period of up to 4 months. If they then retract their oath, Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. If they are determined to divorce, Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Divorced women should wait by themselves for 3 menstrual cycles, and it is not lawful for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs. If they believe in Allah and the last day, their husbands have the right to take them back within that time, if they desire to be reconciled. Women possess rights similar to those held over them, to be honoured with fairness, but men have a degree above them. Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Divorce can be pronounced 2 times, in which case wives may be retained unless they forgo it, or the one in charge of the marriage contract forgoes it. To forgo it is closer to taqwa. Do not forget to show generosity to one another. Allah sees what you do. Safeguard the prayer, especially the middle one. Stand in obedience to Allah. If you are afraid, then do pray on foot or mounted. But when you are safe, remember Allah in the way He taught you when previously you did not know. Those of you who die, leaving wives behind, should make a bequest to their wives of maintenance for a year without them having to leave their homes. But if they do leave, you are not to blame, for anything they do with themselves with correctness and courtesy. Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Divorced women should receive maintenance given with correctness and courtesy, a duty for all who are God-fearing. In this way, Allah makes His signs clear to you, so that hopefully you will use your intellect. What do you think about those who left their homes in thousands in fear of death? Allah said to them, die, and then brought them back to life. Allah shows great favour to mankind, but most people are not grateful. Fight in the way of Allah. Know that Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Is there anyone who will make Allah a generous loan so that He can multiply it for him many times over? Allah both restricts and expands, and you will be returned to Him. What do you think about the council of the tribe of Israel after Musa's time, when they said to one of their prophets, "Give us a king and we will fight in the way of Allah"? He said, "It is not possible that if fighting were prescribed for you, you should not fight." They said, "How could we not fight in the way of Allah when we have been driven from our homes and children?" But then when fighting was prescribed for them, they turned their backs except for a few of them. Allah knows the wrongdoers. Their prophet said to them, "Allah has appointed Saul to be your king." They said, "How can he have kingship over us when we have much more right to kingship than he does? He has not even much wealth." He said, "Allah has chosen him over you and increased him greatly in knowledge and physical strength. Allah gives kingship to anyone He wills. Allah is all-encompassing, all-knowing." Their prophet said to them, "The sign of His kingship is that the ark will come to you, containing serenity from your Lord and certain relics left by the families of Musa and Harun. It will be borne by angels. There is a sign for you in that if you are believers." When Saul marched out with the army, he said, "Allah will test you with a river. Anyone who drinks from it is not with me, but anyone who does not taste it is with me, except for him who merely scoops up a little in his hand." But they drank from it, except for a few of them. Then when he and those who believed with him had crossed it, they said, "We do not have the strength to face Goliath and his troops today." But those who were sure that they were going to meet Allah said, "How many a small force has triumphed over a much greater one by Allah's permission? Allah is with the steadfast." When they came out against Goliath and his troops, they said, "Our Lord, pour down steadfastness upon us and make our feet firm and help us against this unbelieving people." And with Allah's permission, they routed them. Dawood killed Goliath, and Allah gave him kingship and wisdom and taught him whatever He willed. If it were not for Allah's driving some people back by means of others, the earth would have been corrupted, but Allah shows favour to all the worlds. Those are Allah's signs, which we recite to you with truth. You are indeed one of the messengers.